Okay, so this was supposedly called the nickel trigger job, where you polish all the parts. You saw the before, right? Now they're polished up. You see our disconnector. I did a quick light polish on them, just with my Dremel. Right, it's charging right now, so there's no battery, but this rounded edge one works good to get in all the little crannies. And some mother's metal polish, that's all I had. Seemed to work okay. We did get some good shine on many of our parts here. Let's see here. We saw the before, so they're definitely a little shinier and smoother, and we'll soon see if that makes any difference as far as making it function any better. So let's begin the process of putting it back together. So I don't forget, I'm going to start right on the firing pin here. So our firing pin is made up of 5 pieces. Firing pin, this is the plastic sleeve. This goes in like this, fits in there like that. All right. Our spring, remember the double coils towards our firing pin, and you're going to have to hold this down with some hand pressure and place these cups in there. I do not know how easy this is. It may be easier said than done. We will find out. So I think what I want to do is have a little space in here, so I'm going to get a bigger hunch to stop the firing pin from sliding all the way down, which will give me more leverage here to place the cup. Okay, so there's one. We had one, and we're going to do 2. This does require a few hands here. Okay, so we're back together. Appears to be fine. Got our cups in. A little tricky. I guess my advice is to be patient. That did help putting something in between so this doesn't slide all the way down to your table. So giving you a little extra space. Our cups are in. That's polished. Should have put some oil on that before I took it apart. But I'll get a little oil on the outside here, and I'll just put a drop in there and let it soak in. I wipe oil on everything, so that was one of the harder parts to take care of. Done, and we'll set that aside for later when we put our slide back together. So let's get our disconnector back in. We remember how that came out. I'm just wiping a little oil on everything. That went right in here. You want to make sure that goes all the way down. That is all the way down. I'll double check that and just give it a quick tap. That's all. It's supposed to be out on the top here. It's got a little springiness to it. Wipe oil on everything again. Next, let's get our spring out here. Next, we're going to be putting in our trigger bar. See how nice and shiny that got. Same thing. I don't spare any expense on the oil. Alright. So the first thing we're going to do here, this sits in here like this. First thing we want to do is get our spring back on. And we get that in any way we can. That's back on. And then we were going to do the same thing we did before, was kind of pull, right, and push back in. Make sure our trigger's disengaged in here, and we hold that like that. So now, apparently, we got to hold this kind of tight together. And we can put our trigger in first, and the rest should kind of slide in. Nice. Nice. Okay. Put our pin back in here. I'm going to use a hammer. You know, other guys say no. Get our pin centered. Looks like we go a little more. A little too far. Go back a little bit. Okay, so that's centered. All right, so next on our agenda here is to line up our trigger pin, and also this is going to go in the third slot here, like so. It's going to be held in by our trigger pin. So if we look, I don't know if you can see that, but that's what we want. If I think I remember correctly, we could put our block pin in first. Oh no, we can't put a block pin in because our block isn't in yet. Let's take that out again. Get our block in. Alright, our block's in, nice and shiny. Now we can put our block pin in. In. It's a cool countersink kit, just a little bit. There we go. And here's where we gotta line up all of our stuff here. Up. That went in pretty easy. Same thing, just want to countersink it. Depth. Take it to the other side. That feels right. And then last is our safety here, our takedown lever. That's going to go in opposite of the way we took it out. Push down. So I'm just getting on the spring here. And it should slide in. Easy as that. That's in. And if we've done everything right, we should have a fully functioning quite certain if I'm going to use this video yet because I've been kind of boring. We've been talking. But, I just hit these. I'm actually going to dry these off a little bit. And I like to use grease on these. So if I can reach in here. Put a spot of grease on here. Way too much. Okay. So now we'll put our slide back together. That's all going to be done in reverse order here. Remember the item I took out first. That was our extractor, which is pretty dirty. Just wiping my extractor off quick. It's been a while since I've actually taken this out. Cleaning some of the carbon out of the teeth of it there. I usually do this every 500, 600 rounds. I go in and clean this out. Okay. So, in reverse order, this here's our extractor. Remember that goes in a certain way. Alright, it kind of just lays in there for now. Then we take our plunger. The spring should stay in there. Push it in. Okay. Easy as that. Now it's in. Oh, had it in there. Easy as that. Put our plunger back in. Put a little oil on it. Oh, careful. Ooh, yeah, nice and smooth. And our firing pin, which we've oiled pretty well. Go back in. Like so. Now, what we do here is push down on here. Alright, with get it started, and then push down on here, and we're in business. That's nice and loose. Appears to be fine. Alright, finished putting our gun back together here. Now this was did this just by watching videos on YouTube. This was my first attempt at it. I'm pretty certain it's looking pretty successful here. Guess we'll know when I go shoot it. As far as how successful it is. It is working properly. And we'll just see if we got a smoother. I mean, it doesn't feel any lighter, but I guess it's a little smoother. Not as crunchy. I don't think it's any different, but that's what people say. At least it's very, very clean. At the very least. So that's that. Thanks for watching.